Ayala Land is one of the trusted real estate developer in the Philippines and has always been an important contributor to the Philippine development and growth. It was established on September 14, 1988 at Makati City. It was founded by Jaime Augusto and Ferdinand Zubeldi Ayala, the acting chairman, with Bernard Vincent D., standing president of the company. They believe that the nation-building activities such as this will ultimately help the long-term growth prospect of the family conglomerate. Ayala Land is the largest property developer in the Philippines and has expanded to 2,990 hectares and continued to grow as an eco-community and developing large-scale, mixed-use, and sustainable estates. It offers a balanced and complementary mix of residential developments, shopping centers, offices, hotels and resorts, construction, property management, and strategic investment. For the year 2020, Ayala Land has a revenue of 168.8 billion, net income of 33.2 billion, and total asset of 713.9 billion.
Next topic is about the capital budgeting of Ayala Land. We researched for its 2018 capital budget, which is 110.1 billion peso. The allocation of it is 41% going to residential projects, 12% goes to malls, 6% goes to offices, 5% goes to hotels and resorts, 15% goes to land acquisition, 12% goes to estate development, and 9% of it goes to stakes in Prime Orion Philippines Incorporation. This allocation of capital budget is because of some developing new projects and expansion of business. So, this is the updated capital budget of Ayala Land in year 2020. From 110 billion peso on 2018, it became 70 billion peso in 2020. They postponed new projects in order to support finances. This is all because of coronavirus outbreak. So, this is what happened to Ayala Land during pandemic. More than 90% of companies' offices properties remain operational. Mainly the business process outsourcing, and 9 out of 11 of the company's hotels are under limited operations in order to house BPO employees. Aside from that, Ayala Land's malls are closed except for essential services, and about 2.6 billion peso worth of rent agreed to waive during enhanced community quarantine.
We will also show you a 5-year trend cash flow of Ayala Land Incorporated, but we will focus more on the year 2020. Ayala Land Chief Finance Officer Augusto Bengson said that Ali revised its projection on cash flow, especially from operating activities in the year 2020, because they are aware that pandemic can affect their operation that can cause a slowdown in residential sales. As you can see, from 2016 to 2020, the most recent year had a lowest funds from operation. Its growth rate was declined by a negative 56.52% compared to the year 2019. It is mainly because of some changes caused by pandemic, such as the rent concessions that Ayala Land provided to their mall tenants, and also the lower occupancy of hotels and resorts. When we look in the net operating cash flow, only the year 2020 shows that there have a more outflow than inflow money from operating activities of Ayala Land. Based on my research, Ali used 28 billion pesos in its operating activities. Next is investing activities. In the year 2020, there have a lower capital expenditure in fixed asset because Ayala Land postponed new projects during COVID-19 pandemic. Ali was focused only on essential expenditures and critical projects. That's why on the first quarter of 2020, Ayala Land launched 4 projects, but they become consistent with the company's strategy to maintain financial sustainability during quarantine period. In the second quarter of 2020, Ayala Land didn't launch new projects. As mentioned before, Ali used a large amount of money in operating activities, but it survived through financing activities. Foremost of the financing activities was the Ayala Land Real Estate Investment Trust or AREIT public offering that raised Ali around 13 billion pesos. It is the first ever REIT in the Philippines. Another financing activity that generated cash for Ali is deposits from customers. Deposits and other non-current liabilities generated 12.8 billion pesos for Ayala Land. Despite of the situation, the net financing cash flow of Ali was still good and better than 2018 and 2017. But it cannot deny the fact that financial performance of Ali was really affected due to COVID-19 pandemic. It is the reason why the free cash flow for the year 2020 was really different among the other 4 consecutive years. It has been declined by 161.22%. Ayala Land knows that they missed some opportunities because of crisis, but they ensured that Ali is in a healthy and strong financial position throughout the pandemic.
In the first quarter of 2020, Ayala Land launched 4 projects with a total value of 5 billion. These are Avida Greendale setting at Alberia in Pampanga, Amaya Step the Junction Place area in Quezon City, Amaya Scape Cabuya Series 3 Area 2, and Bella Vita Alaminos 2 both in Laguna. Consistent with the company strategy to maintain financial sustainability during quarantine period, no new residential projects were launched in the second quarter of 2020. This is the performance of Ayala Land during the COVID-19 pandemic. In August 7, 2020, Ayala Land recorded consolidated of 41.2 billion and a net income of 4.5 billion for the 6 months of 2020. Revenue from property development amount to 24.9 billion, a 58% drop mainly due to the lower project booking and suspended construction activity. Residential revenue also declined 54% to 20.5 billion, while office for sales revenue dropped by 86% to 1.4 billion. Revenue from sales of commercial and industrial slowly down by 31% to 3 billion, while sales reservation registered at 38.3 billion and 47% lower than last year given limited selling activities during the quarantine. Office leasing revenue by 7% to 4.9 billion through the sustained operation of BPO and HQ buildings. Commercial leasing revenue declined 31% to 12.9 billion given restricted mall and hotels operation, the closure of resorts. Shopping center revenue dropped 43% to 5.8 billion, while revenue from hotels and resorts and 43 to 21 billion.
Why invest in Ayala Land? Number 1. A company of a prestigious company like Ayala Land always forms a demand and is less battered. Number 2. Professionally managed compared to other unknown companies. Being one of the most successful company in the country, Ayala Land is managed by one of the best executives in the country, also gaining an award for Asia's best managed company in Asia. Number 3. Diversification and exposure. Ayala also exhibits itself to almost every other industry and services in the country, from property development, telecoms, banking, car dealership, call centers, and construction. Valuations. A valuation determines its current or projected worth of an asset of a company. Ayala Corporation should at least have 23% upside from its current price. Number 5. Technical. Technical analysis confirms that Ayala has still a good long-term demand on stock and it continues to be in upward direction over the long term. Number 6. Fundamentals. Ayala has a tons of cash to maximize more growth opportunities in the future, both inside and outside the country. Number 7. Longevity. The Ayala Land was founded in September 14 in 1988. Number 8. Growth and protection. The companies under Ayala Corporation are growing with the economy like BPI Ayala Land. It may also help you to respond to market demand, allowing you to increase your market share and capitalize on your growing brand.